Bledsoe, and I am here with my Nana, Linda Bledsoe, to ask her a few questions. Nana, I would like to ask you a few questions for my documentary film class. Nana, tell me a little about yourself. Where were you born?
I was born in Colorado City, Texas, back in 1941.
How many siblings do you have?
I had two. I had an older brother named Eddie and a younger sister named Judy.
What was your house like as a child?
Oh, it was it was wild. My brother was born in the house that I grew up in. He was born in one of the rooms, and then we just kept adding rooms because there were 5 of us, and my sister and I had to share a bedroom. So it finally got to where every one of us had a bedroom of our own.
So how did your family spend time together?
Oh, we had every meal at a table. My mother got up and fixed us breakfast every morning, and we sat down at the table together and ate all 3 of our meals. Yes.
What is your most important lesson that your parents taught you?
I believe the most important lesson that they taught me is that you don't have to have a lot of money. My mother sewed for me, so I always had beautiful clothes, and she never had to spend a lot on them. And I always was as good, had as good a dresses and looked as good as anybody in my school.
Did you ever get in trouble as a child or a teenager?
Many times, yes. I was mischievous, just like all kids are. I wasn't mean or, got in bad trouble, but yes, I got spankings too when I got in trouble.
What did your friends do for fun when you were young?
When we were young, we used to play hide and go seek. At our house, after dark, Mother and Daddy would sit out on the porch, and the kids, all the neighborhood kids would come, and we played hide and seek until it was time to go in and take our baths and go to bed.
Did you have a best friend?
I did. I did have a very best friend, and her name was Alice.
What was your hometown like?
My hometown was a small, Andrews, Texas, was the name of where I was raised. And it was a small little town. We had one street that came through, and we called it Dragon Main. It was Main Street, and if anybody was out, you saw everybody that was in town just Dragon Main.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted just to get married and have kids. That was my ambition at the time, yes.
What was one of your favorite shows as a child?
I liked Bambi. That was one of my favorite ones. That and Oh Yeller.
What was your favorite toy or activity as a child?
Actually, the most favorite thing, my brother and sister, we would get out in our backyard, and we'd build roads, and we'd have little blocks of wood was our cars, and we made forts and all kinds of things like that. We'd play for hours like that.
Do you have a holiday tradition?
Yes. The holiday tradition that I always liked was Thanksgiving and Christmas. When I was growing up, that was just always special times. We were always together as a family, and family to me has always been important. That's what I like most.
What is your favorite thing about the holidays?
Having the family together, because that's when we're always together. And to me, it's not the same if you don't have your family.
Do you have a favorite family vacation memory?
Yes. When I was growing up, we didn't get very many vacations, but we used to go to Ruidoso, New Mexico. And we'd go, just a bunch of friends, all of us would go together and rent a cabin together, and the kids would go horseback riding, and we'd go mountain climbing, and one time we went a little bit high up on a mountain, and the grown-ups, the men had to come and help us down. We couldn't turn around and come down the mountain. They had to come and help us get down. But we always had so much fun. My friend Alice and her parents always went on that one, and we always had such a good time doing that.
Were you named after a family member?
Yes, I was. I was named after my mother and my grandmother, and it was the Grace part. My Linda Grace, and the Grace was after my. Actually, it was after my two grandmothers. Two grandmothers were named Grace.
Does your name have a special meaning?
Grace actually does have a special meaning, and it's like, you know, by things happen to you with grace, if that makes any, you know, and there's a special meaning that grace means, and I don't know what it is, but there is a special. I should have looked that up. Mm-hmm.
What extracurricular activities did you participate in?
One of the very favorite things that I did all through anything that I did in school, grade school or high school, was when they hired the drama teacher. Mr. Stoichev was his name, and he came, and he was just fantastic. And I was in plays, and I did. We went to state with a one-act play, and it was called The No Count Boy, and I was I was the mother to this boy, and I had 12 lines, and I won honorable mention with 12 lines in this play. It was a good time.
What was your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject was probably, oh my gosh, it certainly wasn't math. You know, I'm not sure what my favorite subject was. I guess English, probably.
Who's your favorite teacher in school?
My favorite teacher was Miss Hamilton, because I was her pet. And she was my first grade teacher. And I was her pet, and she'd let me come up to her desk and look while she was grading papers, and so I got along with her really well.
Did you go to the same school all your life?
I did. I started first grade, and I graduated there in the same school, Andrews, Texas.
Where did you go to college?
Well, I didn't go to college right off because I raised a family, and then when I started to decide it was time for me to get out and work and kind of have a career, then I went to what was called Drawn's Business College. Doesn't even exist anymore, and got a business degree.
What was your favorite job?
My favorite job was when I worked for Ernst & Young in Dallas, Texas.
What was your first car?
Oh, my first car was a 1955 blue Plymouth.
What was your first pet?
My first pet was a little Chihuahua named Junior. Smart little animal.
Where have you traveled?
Oh, thanks to you and your family, I have traveled many places. I have been to China. I've been to Vietnam. I've been to England. I've been to Turkey. I've been to Tunis, Tunisia. Many places that I'd have never even thought about going had it not been to go see my grandkids and my family.
What is your favorite city to visit?
Oh, my favorite city was New York City.
What is different about growing up today than when you were a child?
Oh, my goodness, there's so many differences. Life was so simple. You know, like I said, we got out and played with cars made out of wood, and we played hide and go seek, and we had parties, and life was much simpler then than it is now. We didn't have phones. You had to if you got out in your car somewhere, you were just there. You didn't have no way to call home, or, you know, say you're in trouble or anything like that. So yeah, life was much simpler as far as there was no phones. What am I trying to say?
Technology.
Yes, the technology just wasn't there. It's simple.
What's one of your favorite memories as being a mom?
As being a mom, oh my gosh, probably the best memories was when they both were born, and just them growing up. My favorite memory with Lisa was watching her in the band and seeing what she did. And my favorite memory with Bobby was just how he loved to learn and how he loved school and that kind of thing.
What is your favorite thing as being a grandparent?
About being a grandparent? Oh, everything is my favorite thing about being a grandparent. That is just one of the most wonderful things that can happen to a grandma, to a nana, is to be a grandparent. Everything about it is my favorite.
What's one of your favorite activities now?
Golf. Love to play golf.
If you could have lived in a different place, where would it be?
Probably, you're talking about growing up, right? Mm-hmm. When I was growing up, yeah. Probably, you know, my daddy was a cowboy, a real cowboy. And he always wanted to own his own ranch and have his own cows and his own horses. And I think that would have been great had we been able to do that. So it could have been, it could have been anywhere in West Texas that you could have done that.
What are you thankful for?
Oh, I'm thankful for my grandkids. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful that all my kids are right here in the village where I can see them whenever I want to.
What makes you happy?
My grandkids. And getting to be with them and getting to go and be their biggest supporter. Whatever they're doing, that makes me happy.
Do you have any regrets?
Oh yes, I do have regrets. I think everybody has regrets. And probably one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't think more about like going to school right after I got out of high school, and maybe had a little bit more of be a little more career minded instead of just wanting to get married and have kids right away. Live a little bit.
Thank you for answering my questions, and thank you for your time. Hi, Anna.
Hello,
How's
Andrew.
life been?
How's life?
Ah, no, that's horrible! Where? Oh, I looked at the thing and I knew it was wrong. What was your house like as a child? Oh my God! What extracurricular activities did you participate in? What extracurricular activities did you pursue? Thank you for answering my questions, and thank you for your attention. Yeah! Thanks so much for watching. This is your host, Andrew Bledsoe, and I'll be with you next time.